Yukari is a super fast, high damage output, oppressive zoning character, but one that you don't see too many players using. Well, that's because she's in that little segment of the roster of characters who are incredibly difficult to pick up relative to the easier characters like Narukami and Minazuki. The complexity isn't in the moveset, she actually has a smaller move list than most characters. It's that each move is pretty technical in use. Zoning characters get a bad rap as being brain dead, but it's really not that easy, especially with tools like Yukari's, where most of your zoning abilities are very specific, where you constantly need to make the right decision or risk getting blown up. If you're not capitalizing off of the opportunities you create opening the opponent up with a decent level of combo optimization, then the wins become difficult to come by with this character. But if you're not intimidated by a little bit of a learning curve, then she has a lot to offer. Before we get into it, Deuce Cannon, a phenomenal Yukari player, has a comprehensive series of videos that I strongly recommend you check out either right now or after you watch this one. But I'll keep it a buck, you won't learn anything here that you won't learn there plus more. So, Yukari enables tremendous levels of aggression in nearly every matchup. The zoning playstyle is always inherently strong, but she's also extremely quick. To top it off, she can convert into crazy damage off of pretty much any clean opening once you master her combo conversions. And you get to further terrorize opponents with her mix-up potential after already pouring on the damage. At times, you might be tricked into thinking that she's a rushdown character with her ability to crack defenses. Of course, all this power comes at a cost. Underwhelming defensive options means that your defense isn't traditionally good. If your opponent can either blow through your zoning or hold up strong against your pressure and turn the tables, you're probably going to get folded on that crackback. So you never want to be sitting around with this character, you want to be constantly on the move. Also, that easy pressure that makes you feel really strong up close starting out kind of fizzles a little bit once you get to a level where opponents are more knowledgeable. They know when to DP you, they don't get opened up for free from a jump in standing low attack, properly take their turn when they have to, and use projectile invincible moves to get through your zoning. Generally, once they show these responses are dialed in, you have to pull back the game plan a bit, which can make you feel a little one-dimensional with the zoning until you develop a more advanced strategy. As always, check out dustloop.com for a comprehensive move breakdown. We'll do a very quick overview right here. Yukari's A attacks are all fairly quick strikes, with the standout being her standing A hitting low, and her jumping A being quick enough to hit multiple times before landing. Sweep is fast, and all out of attack is a bit deceptive, making it pretty useful. Her B attacks are basic projectiles that form the foundation of your zoning game. They can be charged up to increase damage and combo ability. They hit specific angles and distances, so you'll need to be fairly precise in your decision making to maximize the effectiveness of your zoning. Yukari's persona attacks have two different uses for Isis. C attacks are all around useful tools. They can extend combos, you can fish for counter hits in neutral, leading to higher damage and combos. You can use them for pressure strings, lots of utility. D attacks have a bit more specificity. They place wind orbs that transform any of your projectile attacks into homing bullets. There's a fair bit of startup to these, so you have to find the right gaps to put them down. First, make sure your opponent respects your space control, then put these down to really torment them. For the specials, you've got your standard invincible DP, but it travels horizontally instead of vertically, making it kind of useless to beat certain attacks. It also gives air recovery, which will allow better opponents to force a scramble by air teching in different directions instead of just letting you take your turn for free. Then we have Feather Arrow, Feather Bomb, Feather Flip, and Magaru. You'll definitely be using Feather Arrow in neutral, as well as Magaru in some situations. Flip can be utilized in neutral as well to cover some more unconventional angles really high up, but your regular arrows will provide most of what you need to zone starting out. Other than that, you'll also eventually learn some specific setups that utilize certain aspects of your specials, like Feather Bomb being air unblockable. Yukari only has two supers. Hyper Feather Shot is a super fast arrow that can tack on extra damage to combos or be used to punish moves from far away. Also can be used on the wind orbs to become a homing attack. Magarula is your awakened super, and the reason she has so few super attacks is because this thing is terrifying. You can do some dirty stuff if you get the opponent to block this, since you have complete freedom of movement. If you put this out, you basically get to play the game by yourself for a few seconds. Yukari's optimal combos are not easy. The easiest routes that still get the corner carry and damage that you need to be effective, still pretty hard. And once you get them down, you're still going to drop them a lot in matches. So you just got to stay the course and grind it out. An actual easy combo to start out if you want to just hop in matches and not stress about combos, auto combo. The first 3 hits are actually incorporated in the more advanced combos, so there's no downside to getting this committed to muscle memory to confirm off of standing A hits. Do a little flip and pop them with a status arrow, A or C for charm, B or D for mute, or SB version for panic. And now when you're ready to expand a little bit, you want to cancel the 3rd auto combo hit right after the last arrows into the bomb toss. That animation will recover in time for you to land a standing B arrow, then crouching B, which explodes the bomb, forcing a hard knockdown which you can dash up and catch into another auto combo for the finish. If combos are a weak spot for you, then this combo is a nice in-between spot to jump into games and develop the overall game plan while still knowing something that can do a little bit of damage. And here's a variation you can do in the corner since the feather bomb functions a bit differently there. But if you're not scared of the real stuff, we're still climbing the ladder here. Not quite optimal yet, but this one gets you all the way to the corner. Instead of exploding the bomb with crouch B, you're going to launch the opponent with crouch C after the standing arrow. Air combo them with jumping C and then jump cancel that into down arrows which explodes the bomb, dash, catch them for the auto combo ender, and you're good. You can also land this in the corner, but it's a little finicky. Now we're at the real combo I want you to learn. Before we get to it though, I want you to practice this cancel. Launch the training dummy with crouch C and hit them with the jumping C, followed by a jump cancel like the last combo. Except, we're going to hold the down arrows to get a second ground bounce. Depending on how well you execute this, you might notice it doesn't connect. That's because there's a little trick where you need to jump out of the jumping C attack with a very strict timing to have enough advantage to be able to connect with the charged up arrows. And this gets even stricter in the middle of a long combo. So once you've gotten familiar with the timing, auto combo, stand arrow, crouch arrow to explode the bomb, but then we do something cute. We're going to whiff a sweep here so that we kill enough frames so that a dash afterwards makes it way easier to catch the falling opponent with the standing C than if you try to manually time it. And the hardest part, getting the timing tight enough to connect the down arrows after the jumping C. But then the finisher is pretty easy. Crouch B into charge standing B, cancel into feather flip arrow. The key to comboing with your B arrows is to change your thinking a little bit. The moves aren't cancelable into jump or another attack until the arrows hit. So if you go too fast, the game might read it as you charging up crouch B instead of letting it go and charging the stand B arrow. And as you can see, excellent corner carry, lots of damage, and the ability to cancel into super as well for low health opponents to finish them off. And now for the real corner combo. Similar starter to what we just did. I believe the charge down arrows are optional here since you get the explosion even without the charge, but you want the extra damage and it's good to learn how to keep things tight in case you land a hit off of something like jumping A, which requires everything to be tighter anyway due to the combo system in the game. We've done the crouch B into charge standing B before, but instead of going directly into the flip, you're going to do 2 jumping charge B arrows. The cancels on these are quick. If you're struggling, then you can practice this part by doing a charge crouch B into charge standing B to get the wall splat at the right height, so you can practice the ender without having to do the whole combo. And this is another bit of a sticking point. If the combos I'm about to give you are too hard, you can do just fine with what you've learned so far. But for the next step, we're going to incorporate another combo extension piece, the delayed jump charged arrow. You can practice it like this in the corner. The reason you need to delay the jumping arrow is to have enough time to hit them with the re-jump arrow. If you don't delay it, then the re-jump charge arrow won't have enough advantage to connect. Once you've got that down, time to incorporate it for max damage. You can hit this combo off of a crouching C hit or with a counter hit standing C that you can land as a DP punish, or sometimes from catching a hit in neutral or block pressure. And we want to be able to get this amount of damage from anywhere on the screen, right? So check this out. This is the final piece of our combo extensions. Similar to the re-jump charge arrow, we can cover the length of the screen with an instant air dash arrow. This is where that tip about the arrow cancels really comes into play. Remember, the arrow attacks can be cancelled when they make contact, so you can't just air dash after you shoot the arrow. You gotta get in sync with timing the air dash as soon as the arrow hits. And then the only problem you'll run into is that you don't have enough time to charge the air arrow. Don't worry, you're probably not mistiming the combo or anything. It's actually kind of a secret. You don't have to fully charge this attack to get a wall splat. You can let go a little before full charge and still get the wall extension. So get that timing down and finish the combo off with the re-jump charge arrow that you just practiced. And look at all that damage. See, Yukari can be really scary with pretty much any confirmed hit. And don't forget, you can get these crouch C combos off of counter hit stand C as well. Zoning. Usually a zoning character has projectiles with massive space denial. Yukari doesn't, with the exception of specific setups that we'll get to in a moment. Almost every one of your options has a precise piece of the screen that it shuts down, so you gotta do two things. Utilize her quick movement to shut down those different spaces with rapid succession, and condition the opponent to play into those spaces that you want them at. All of your arrow attacks are great zoning tools. Crouching B can be a letdown sometimes, but it's great when you set it up with orbs to track the opponent. Feather arrow can be used to keep the opponent pinned down and catch them trying other full screen options. And like I said, combine these tools with your movement options and you can become quite unreadable. Get used to being able to perform air turns and immediately letting arrows go as you zip around the screen. Be as slippery as possible to add to the frustration of the zoning matchup. And once you've got them thinking instead of moving, that's your opening to let loose with the wind orbs and bombs. You can use the D persona attacks in conjunction with the movement and arrows to get some scary zoning pressure going, while being able to dip in for a combo start at pretty much any time because now the opponent is scared no matter where they are on the screen. You can also toss out the Magaru special skill. These help to lock down even more space from the opponent. And when you make the commitment to get in the opponent's face, you gotta open them up. Now sometimes it'll be easy. You might have an orb out and do a forward air dash arrow that catches them trying to attack you and get a free combo. But most of the time they'll block your opening and you gotta make a decision. Are you going to look for a quick confirm then retreat if you don't get it to zone again? Or are you going to force the issue and try to open them up? With an air approach, you have the baby mix-up. You can land any number of jumping A attacks into your low attacks and confirm a hit into a combo. That'll work surprisingly often at the beginner stages. Beyond that, you want to threaten the grab with your strikes, especially in the corner. Mix in some crouch A's with your standing A's to keep checking the low block, throw in some persona normals. Enhance Magaru is kind of a cheat code because forcing them to block it gives you a free pressure reset. An important key, you can jump cancel your standing A attacks as well as your crouching C attack, giving you tons of options to utilize your array of air skills to keep the pressure on and catch them trying to press buttons. Now we're keeping this light purposely because you really want to get your zoning skills buttoned down before anything else. The combo damage and pressure is nice, but you don't get to do those things without getting pretty competent at the slippery keep away aspect of the character. So if you made it this far, once again, be sure to check out Deuce's series where you'll get a ton more in-depth information than this lightweight starter guide. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.